Sunny ways, my friends, sunny ways.
Your 16 seconds are up. I'm going to ask you again because nobody believes you when you say you don't know how much money your family has got from the wheat group. You've had a month to look into that. You knew you were going to testify here. Again, how much money total have your brother, mother, and spouse received from this organization? How much?
That information has been publicly shared. I will highlight.
Well, then tell me what it is.
Can you dig it? Can you dig it? Can you dig it?
We have recently switched to drinking water bottles out of water out of when we have water bottles out of plastic. Away from plastic towards paper, like drink box water bottles, sort of thing. Sorry.
The servicing costs on the debt that you're going to have to carry that you're adding to now, right?
Interest rates are at historic lows, Glenn.
Where's the funds?
On the topic, I mean, in terms of your sort of strategy currently, you're obviously taking the populist pathway.
What does that mean? Oh, Justin, you're awake. You made it. Have a seat. Have a coffee. You need some. Wakey time.
Let's cut that Disney Plus subscription. So we cut it. It's only $13.99 a month that we're saving, but every little bit helps.
A lot of people would say that you're simply taking a page out of the Donald Trump book.
Which people would say that?
Well, I'm sure a great many Canadians, but...
Like who?
I don't know who, but...
Well, you're the one who asked the question, so
yeah.
You must know somebody. Yeah, that's all that's coming off. There's nothing else coming off, yeah. I'm not Justin Trudeau here. Let's fucking go!
Let's fucking go.
Knockout! What's going on, ladies and gentlemen? Welcome back to the Fringe. Happy Friday the 13th here on the stream.
Could you take that off? It looks a little ridiculous.
I gotta take it off. Well, it's Friday the 13th. We're here on the show. Fine, let's take it off. We'll get it out of here. I wanted to do something fun for the show opener, but I guess some things just don't look as good as they should. I guess. Is this better? Is this better for the show? Welcome. Happy Friday the 13th, everybody. I'm just joking. Let's get that off. Let's start the show the right way. How's everybody doing? Welcome back to the Fringe. I hope you guys had a great week here on the channel. Welcome in. Hey, we got to celebrate Friday the 13th. We're almost in Halloween season.
I know.
So it's time for a laugh. I thought it'd be a good way to start the show. Derek, where's Mike TV Dub? Derek, that was an improvement. There we go. Welcome into the stream, guys. It's great to have you all in here. Let's start our show off the good old-fashioned way with an old roll call. If you're in the chat, we got 204 people so far joining us live in the chat. Make sure to get those thumbs up in there, folks. It's crucial on this live stream. YouTube has been slamming us all week after our successful video dropped. It's been absolutely crazy. Get those thumbs up in there. Let me know where you're watching from. If you're brand new to the stream, I know we got a lot of new viewers in here this week. Let me know in the chat. Let me know where you're from. Let's see if we can get somebody from every province in the country. I'll try and get everybody that I can. I know some people threw up earlier, but I'm going to start right here with Prime Minister Callan of Canada saying he's in from Lethbridge, Alberta. We've got Kevin joining us from Cookstown, Ontario with the LFG. Get those LFGs in the chat. Let's go, folks. We got Danielle Smith, Newfie in the house, as always. There you go. Welcome into the stream. Great to have you here. We got Jacques coming in. Hello, Derek and Mrs. Fringe and everyone in the chat from Coopus Casing, Ontario, LFG. And don't forget to push that like button. Get it in there, folks. Let's see how high we can get the viewer count tonight. It's going to be great. Who else do we got in here? We got Blackface Son of Castro coming in from Windsor, Nova Scotia with the LFGs. Welcome in. Great to see you. We got Mike from Courtney, BC. I almost said Kootenay.
Your glasses working today?
They're not so much. We're not so much. Ange F. joining us from Huntsville, Ontario. Welcome and great to have you in the stream. We've got David coming in again from Springfield, Missouri, USA. We got Kaylee coming in from New Brunswick. Carson Sexsmith joining us once again from Porno Viagra. Welcome into the stream. It's great to have you here. We got No More coming in from BC. Welcome in to all of you. Great to have you here. Butchell at the Wharf saying Canadian flavored Florida. Welcome into the stream. It's great to have you here. We've got Stinger with an enchante, Mrs. Fringe. Welcome in. Great to have you here again, Stinger. J-Bye coming in from Montreal. We've got Margaret in at Sylvan Lake watching in the stream. We've got Ayami153 coming in from Alberta. We've got Alan coming in from British Columbia. There's only 2 genders. Greetings from Edmonton, Alberta. I think Edmonton might disagree with you on that one, but welcome into the stream. It's great to see you. Queen Esther coming in from Ontario. Welcome in. Hugh Lawrence from Winnipeg. We've got Basematic coming in from Saskatchewan. Brett from Pennsylvania in the good old USA. Welcome into all of our new American viewers. We got Vikram Singh from Montreal. Kimberly from Prince Rupert, BC. We've got Derek Macbeth joining us from Calgary once again. We got Gina from Saskatchewan. We got David Brewer throwing up those LFGs in the chat, ladies and gentlemen. It's let's see here. We got Daria coming in from BC and Kamloops. We've got a happy Friday the 13th. Jason from YEG coming in. Share, thank you so much for joining us again. I am Canadian 71 from New Brunswick. We got No More coming in from Silverdale, BC. Flip coming in from Brigham, Quebec. Welcome in as well. We've got Linda from Pickering, Ontario. Brian from PEI with the LFGs. Get it in there, folks. Let's go. Gus coming in. Good evening from Rockland, Ontario. Great to have you here. Jerry in from Kirkland Lake, Ontario. Vincent from Saskatchewan. Welcome in. Great to see you here. Ingrid and Charlie joining us once again from Okotoks with the LFGs. Welcome into the stream. Great to have you guys here. We got Lloyd from Smooth Rock Falls, Ontario. Trudeau's Akami from Calgary, of course. Welcome in. Great to have you here. Barb from Ampere, Ontario as well. We got all those LFGs popping up in the chat. We've got Jesse with from Whitehorse, Yukon. Welcome in. That is a new one. I don't think we've had the Yukon in here before, or at least we haven't caught it in the chat. Yes. So welcome in. Great to have you here. We've got Lisa coming in from Blind Bay. We've got Megan coming in once again from Windsor. Great to have you here, Megan. Where else are we getting it here? Is Justin joining us from Fairmont? Says Vikram Singh. I sure hope not. That's close to Calgary. I don't want to see him anywhere near here. We got Diana coming in from Turner Valley. Stardust from Moncton, New Brunswick. Callie Surfer Girl joining us once again from good old Surrey, BC. Thanks for the final book. You're more than welcome. I got a little bit of news. It may not be the final. I wanted it to be, but certain people kick the can and say, stop, don't stop. Come on, make more, make more. I have an idea. We might be doing another one, but it's going to be down the line. Dilligaff Brothers Contracting coming in from Surrey, BC. Kathleen coming in from Saskatchewan. Well, who else do we got here? I'm going to try to get as many as we can. Leah coming in from Arviat Nunavut. I hope I pronounced that right. Welcome in and great to have you here. We got Roxy coming in from Vancouver Island. Birdie coming in originally from Miami, Manitoba, now in Cowtown. Welcome into the stream. Great to have you here. We've got Anne from Woodbridge, Ontario. Paul from Northern Ontario. Guys, I got to get caught up. I apologize for anybody else. Look at me scrolling through the chat. I'm going to end with Rick because he got it in lately from Quebec. Welcome into the stream. It's great to see you all here. Get those thumbs up again in the chats. We've grown almost 200 viewers since we started the stream, so you guys are doing your part. Make sure again to get those thumbs up in the stream. Boy, what a week it's been. How was your week?
Oh, yeah. No, it's been a crazy week. That's for sure.
It has been a crazy week.
Yeah.
Mrs. Fringe is on the mend. She's had a little bit of an injury, so she's fighting through tonight to be here. I gave her a little bit of a kick medication to help her get through this
Let's hope
stream.
It works.
So hopefully, the cocaine takes effect.
Yeah.
We're good to go. God, I love cocaine. Anyways, let's. I'm just kidding. YouTube, don't kill me out, YouTube. I'm joking. God. What do we got to talk about today? Today we got to talk about a massive video dropping on this channel earlier this week. Of course, we covered the Trump debate. You and I sat down and
we did.
Watched Donald Trump get ganged up on by 3 communists.
Yeah.
That was a lot of fun, wasn't it? If you joined us on that stream, you can no longer watch that stream because YouTube took it down and said that there was a copyright infringement. So ABC, of course, claiming the rights against that stream to make sure that nobody's getting it out there. Of course, who wants to see Donald Trump beat the piss out of Kamala Harris?
Yeah.
it was a great debate. I'm sure there's many other places you can see that debate on YouTube still. But nonetheless, one of the things you noticed during that debate was Kamala's earrings.
Yeah, it was curious to me why she was wearing clip-on earrings, because you could clearly see they were clip-on, and I thought it was like, hold my earrings, I'm ready to fight kind of thing.
Yeah, Tiffany thought they were going down ghetto style, but what actually came out of that, what I started to see thrown around out there on the interwebs was these new wearable earring pieces that are essentially a Bluetooth headset. So essentially what's been proven now is that Kamala Harris was in fact being fed statistics and information via those Bluetooth earrings in her ear. A lot of people saying that there was a wire under her other ear or under her hair on the other side that people saw from time to time. We saw her looking down at certain points as somebody was talking to her. The moderators fact-checking Donald Trump, but not fact-checking Kamala. Absolutely absurd. Again, Donald bringing up things like the pets in Springfield, Ohio.
That you mentioned that, because I know that you did a video on that this week about how it was proven that cats and dogs were being eaten, but all I've seen this week is articles and stuff about how it's not true.
It's funny because not only was it cats and dogs going missing, but cats and dogs living together, mass hysteria. However, what's happened since that Kamala Harris video, guys, I have to thank everybody from the Fringe, everybody who checked out that video. It's currently sitting at almost 300,000 views on the channel. What a week it's been. That's a record for this channel. I don't think I'll ever see numbers like
Probably
that
not.
again, but thank you to all of our American viewers, everybody who came in. But ever since that video was successful, well, YouTube's kind of taken the old boot.
They said, nope, too many views.
They've put the old boot down on the Fringe.
Yeah.
I don't know if you guys have noticed, but multiple videos have dropped on the channel this week to the tune of maybe 3,000, 5,000, even 500 views. They just won't get any traction. YouTube refuses to put them out in the algorithm. If you haven't checked out any of our other videos this week, make sure to head over there. If you enjoy it, throw a thumbs up in there, leave a comment behind. Every little bit helps. But I wanted to talk about that because what's really surprising is people go, Fringe, you're out of your mind. You're just putting out bullshit content. Nobody wants to watch your videos. But I have something to share with you that may go against that. Now, if you guys remember the online act that Trudeau put in to censor news groups that weren't government paid shield prostitutes from reporting the news or being found in search results, well, hold on to your socks, because there was a part of that wasn't discussed, as this clipping comes out that $100 million deal with Google on the Online News Act was sent back in November 29th of last year. Google and the federal government have reached an agreement in their dispute over the Online News Act. The $100 million deal comes 3 weeks before Bill C-18 is set to come in effect. So essentially what's happened there is that if you're going to say that political videos that don't agree with Captain Tampon don't get suppressed, well, what does $100 million buy you, right? We all see Trudeau's infamous video back from the press gala. I think it was back in 2018, or maybe 2020, where he joked and said that the CBC is not allowed to print lies because they pay them to say what they want them to say. This is essentially where we're at on the channel right now. And again, put into a slump. So as we get into that slump, I did sit down for my interview with Danielle Smith today. That video will be coming Monday here on the channel. I'm going to give the weekend for the videos to kind of just rest, for the algorithm to reset on the channel. So there will be no content coming out between now and Monday after this live stream, ladies and gentlemen. I know I usually have videos on the weekend, but again, we're hoping that it maybe just gives a bit of a reset to the old algorithm. But while we're on that, I wanted to talk a little bit about that video as well and what that means for the future of this channel. Because I sat with Mrs. Fringe, we did a poll on the channel and asked you, the viewers, with the success of that video, does this channel start to evolve? Do we start to look at maybe providing some American content? Now, the poll was favorable, right? Roughly, I think it was 75% of the people who voted said, yes, we want to see American coverage. Again, with the US election coming up, I think it's very imperative that we watch videos based on what's happening and the corruption in the United States.
Well, some of the things that happen in the US, it does affect us.
It massively affects Canada, and it also shows where Canada is going to go in the next
Yeah.
election most of the time. So I thought it was valid to cover those things, although some people have dismay in the comments and say, no, I don't want to see it. I have been getting an unbelievable amount of messages and DMs of people saying, if you dare make one American video, I'm leaving the channel. You don't care about Canada. I kind of want to set the record straight on that one, folks. Should we bring in any American content, any world content, Canadian news will always take priority on this channel. This is a Canadian politics channel. We cover Canada. What I have to consider on this channel is that eventually Justin Trudeau is going to leave office. And eventually things in politics in Canada are going to calm down a little.
We hope.
We hope for everybody's benefit. They're going to calm down a little. So what leaves the Fringe on that after that's all said and done? Well, what a time it is now to start expanding our horizons a little, maybe moving into some world news, weighing in on some American stuff, while keeping Canada again at the top of the scale, that whenever something drops in Canada, of course we talk about it on the channel. Of course Canada takes precedency, but the main reason we covered the Trump debate and Kamala and everything going on with Kamala is basically so that you guys have some variety here on the channel. So it's not always, look what Trudeau did and look what Pierre did and now look what Jagmeet Singh did. And we kind of thought a little bit of variety goes a long way in spicing up the channel.
Because it does affect us, and we should have that information out there.
We should have that information, but I also think from a variety standpoint, it gives you guys a little bit of a rest, doesn't it? It's if you guys
Canadian politics are very depressing.
Rigger saying, as long as you report world events through a Canadian lens, I'm fine with it. Absolutely. And I think that's worth it. Margaret saying, I like the variety. There you go. Mystical saying, look what Derek did. Don't watch what I do. You're going to end up in a bad spot. Dan saying, Canada and the US have a symbolic relationship. Common sense says paying attention to their politics would be at least prudent. Absolutely. It's I mean, we can't get over Danielle Sweeney's comment. You guys have the best channel. I don't know about that. Do we? Do we have the best channel?
I think so.
I'll tell you one thing we do have the best of. We have the best community.
Yes.
On the YouTube platform.
100% we do.
Speaking of community, ladies and gentlemen, make sure if you are in a position to, if you want to support the channel, again, with YouTube cracking down on us this week, boy, it's taken an old kick to the old view scale. If you want to become a member and support the channel, you can join the Patriots Club with as little as $5 a month. That $5 a month does enter you into winning one of our embroidered limited edition Unacceptable Fringe logo hoodies, which again we'll be giving away once our move goes through, once we have a mailing address. If the house ever sells, because we've had 8 showings now with no offers, and we are far below the average asking price for a house. We're priced to sell. So hopefully something comes through soon. But until we have an actual address for the embroidery company to ship to, we'll be back drawing all hoodies. So if we've missed 3 months, we'll do 3 drawings on the first show when we get them.
We're going to make sure we catch up.
We're going to catch up so that everybody who's contributed, everybody who's joined the Patriots Club gets what's coming to them. Again, your support is always appreciated by those means, and it's never asked for. It's never a mandatory thing, but I'm thinking of introducing maybe some perks, some benefits, maybe giving you guys some access to videos early before they drop if you guys want things like that, just so that at least you guys are getting something from those memberships aside from just being in a draw. It's Radio saying leave the arcade machines, it'll sell. The arcade machines are going. They're coming with us. They're not staying here.
I've tried. I lost.
Tiffany tried. The straw man was not with her. We're taking them. They're coming with. Let's jump in. Xylo, say you have a clean poop beach and a duck barbecue, it'll sell real quick. We do have a clean poop free beach actually near us. I guess you technically got Chaparral. They've got, although it is a residents only lake,
yes,
which explains why there's no poop on it. Here they poop in the water. They don't just poop in the sand and bury it. They poop in the water. It's Birchall saying member can help design stickers and sticker discount. Hey, maybe we introduce that. That would be something great to maybe get into. Maybe we do like a one-time a month Google Meet where we'll hang out with members and have video conferences with you guys so you can chat with us outside of these streams. Lots of cool little things I want to start introducing for our members for getting involved in the channel. What else do we have here? I wanted to get Ubike Transport. I hope I pronounced that right. I wouldn't mind more US/world news. It's what I've seen is that when we get into Canadian politics, again, I know that question period's coming back. I know the House is reconvening this week, but I think that for us to get a broader perspective of what's happening around the world, that people still need to get their news. I don't watch mainstream media. I don't know about you guys. I'm assuming most people that are here don't watch mainstream media. So if you're going to get your news from anywhere, why not get it from the Fringe? That's the way I see it. At least
we're spouting out the truth.
Or maybe we let you handle all the U.S.
Oh,
politics.
no. I don't think I could do this on my own.
You'd have millions and millions of viewers. Only the best. Only the best viewers.
No.
I know people said they liked the Trump, but I don't think it's a very good Trump. I don't think it's a very good Trump. It's not the best, believe me.
Build a wall around the Trump.
We need to build a wall around the studio. Go back to Mexico. Okay? Megan saying, I'll help Tiffany. There you go.
I'll need all the help I can get.
I'll go upstairs. We'll be eating the dogs, the cats.
Pooping on the beaches.
It's a decent Trump. It is not.
No, it's not.
Coffee.
You're walking. Your walker is better.
How my walking. Guys, sometimes when I'm hanging around here on the streams.
Okay, let's not.
We're not going to get into that. The Trump is really coming along. Yeah, I don't know how much we'll be doing that. It's where's Peter? Let's get into what's going on this week in politics, and let's talk about Canadian politics for a little bit because we have been on U.S. politics for a while. My Peter's better.
Getting there.
Lots of women say my Peter's better. Let me tell you, it's before marriage, not after. We had to do a joke. It had to be done. It's low hanging fruit, ladies and gents. Let's get into what happened this week, shall we? Enough of the shenanigans. Let's Jagmeet Singh coming off of his breakup with Justin Trudeau, and of course Justin looking for a new partner, and of course the Bloc coming forward to say that they're going to now entertain Justin Trudeau, and they're not necessarily going to sign a deal like Jagmeet did.
No, they want to see what the benefits of it are.
I mean, Trudeau offered Jagmeet a bag of potatoes, and he gave him a bag of apples instead.
Yeah.
Jagmeet saw it wasn't a very good deal. So now Quebec coming in saying that they're going to wave a carrot on a stick. They're not essentially going to sign a deal with Justin Trudeau, but they're going to strawman him. They're going to tell him, look, if you want our support, you're going to do what we say. This is going to have a massive effect on Western Canada, I think, because we all know that Quebec killed Energy East.
Mm-hmm.
Quebec takes billions and billions of dollars from Alberta's economy every year. I think to the tune of about $16 billion.
Yeah, and shuts down the work that we do.
In transfer payments.
Yeah.
You hear me, Quebec? Stop taking our money.
Yeah.
Damn it. We don't want this to continue. In fact, Albertans have been calling for quite some time for Danielle to turn off the taps.
Yep.
Right? To tell Quebec, listen, no more, no mas. We're not giving you any more money. And look, I got nothing against people who live in Quebec. I'm talking about politics here.
Mm-hmm.
I think what the politicians need is a taste of their own medicine, because what I found hypocritical about Energy East was the constant debate of how dirty oil and gas is, yet you've got Legault dumping barrels upon barrels, millions of barrels of raw sewage into the St. Lawrence.
Yep.
So Mr. Hypocrite who wants to talk about the environment and how deadly, oil and gas transportation is, that rail is somehow safer than a pipeline. Well, he's going to go dump raw sewage into our Great Lakes, and we're just supposed to shut up and take it.
Yep.
Len saying Trump's going to build Keystone. I hope not. And I'm going to tell you why. Keystone was a terrible deal for Canada. it's good to come in for jobs. It's good for job creation.
Yep.
It's good for oil stability. But Canada was getting the raw end of the deal on the Keystone XL pipeline. Trudeau was going to sell Trump our oil, and then Trump was going to refine it, getting all the bitumen out of there, and then send it back to us where we were going to pay an exuberant amount to get it back.
Yeah.
And then be taxed on it.
Yep.
And then be taxed on our fuel. That's Keystone was not going to be a good deal for Canada. If it goes through, like I hope it goes through, but I also hope that a better deal is maybe negotiated for Canada on that. Master Snatch jumping into the stream, ladies and gentlemen. I'm willing to bet they dump raw sewage by pipeline and not by train. I'm willing to bet they go there after hours and just dump it in while they drink a couple beers and have a laugh.
Yeah.
That's my guess. Stinger saying we have heavy crude. Well, yeah, but so does like Texas.
Yep.
I mean, Texas doesn't have as big of a reserve as Alberta does.
No.
Alan saying we should be refining our own oil. We should be. I've been saying that for decades. Decades. Alberta should split. Alberta should build their own refineries. They should build their own refineries.
Because right now we are shipping it away anyway.
And then split.
Yeah.
We should build our own refineries and then, peace out. We're done. You do know Quebec has over 200 years worth of oil and then some right beneath them. Of course they do, but they don't want to touch it, Luca. They don't want to do anything with it. They want to keep it in the ground because look, if you pump it all out of the ground, then what do you have left? Right? No, they want to keep their cards at the table. Just keep taking money from Alberta. A have-not province taking money from Alberta. It pays for their daycare programs. It pays for everything that Quebec does. And then they turn back and tell Alberta that they're dirty, that they suck, that they're never going to get a seat at the table.
But we need your money.
But we're going to keep taking your money.
Yeah.
That's the issue I have with Quebec. Quebec politicians, not Quebec citizens. It's always good to get the two in there. Birchall saying Nova Scotia and New Brunswick had refineries to process the oil along with our own until the Libs shut it down in 2000. Yes, Scheer tried to pass a bill in 2021 to stop toxic waste from being dumped in the St. Lawrence. Who said nay? The Libs and the NDP, yet they all talk carbon and climate. They're all hypocrites. Yes. But look, the carbon tax, the environmental, the climate change, it's all a scam. It's all a scam. And I'm probably going to get shut down on YouTube even further for saying that. But anytime you hear a politician talking about climate change, it's just give me your money. We just want your money so that we can buy nice things, so that we can have nice things, so that we continue to waste money on unnecessary things.
It doesn't actually go to climate change.
While you pay your money and think that you're making a difference. You're not. The carbon tax is a complete scam.
Yep.
We already know that. I've said it before on the channel that if you ever want proof, anytime somebody comes to me, and usually they're from like Edmonton or something, and they're waving their arms in the air going, you don't know about climate change. The earth is boiling. We haven't seen temperatures like this in forever. I always remind them, do you realize that Alberta was a tropical climate back in the Jurassic era? Do you realize that we used to be on a supercontinent? That over millions and millions of years, climate has changed, that it's inevitable, that things are going to change naturally. Have you ever heard of something called continental drift? That's actual proven by science. Meanwhile, you've got politicians saying we can change the weather, just give us more money. That's not how it works. Give me your money and buy an EV. No thanks. Jacques saying, I believe it was all a plan. What Jimmy Jugger and McNuggets did, so Bloc Québécois can continue a coalition, so conservatives have no way of pushing an election. Well, you could say that, but I think what it is opportunity. Status quo. This is what I always said about Jimmy McJuggernuggets sitting at the table with Justin Trudeau. It was like a kid arguing with their parents that they want to sit at the big parent table instead of at the kids' table. And Justin Trudeau and Pierre Poilievre saying, go sit down, go back to your table. You're not sitting with us. Jagmeet Singh went and threw everything at the table saying, I'll do a coalition. That's fine. I'll prop you up. I'll do whatever you want. Just give me these things. He's not a very good negotiator.
No.
A good negotiator doesn't show their cards. They sit down and say, if you want my support, you're going to have to do these things for me first. Then I will give you my support. That's how a powerful negotiation takes place. And that's what Quebec is doing right now, is they're looking at that situation and saying, hey, we can get some stuff too, because Jimmy gave up all of his cards at the table. He laid down, he was playing poker with Justin Trudeau, and he basically just laid down his cards and said, I'm not going to bluff you. Here's what I have. And Justin took all the chips and said, thank you. And now Quebec is saying, well, we want to buy in because you're in a bad state of affairs. And of course, Justin's got no pushback. He has to agree unless he wants an election. Because keep in mind that Quebec hasn't said they're signing a deal. Quebec has said they will support either party so long as it makes sense for their future. Where was it? I saw it. Alberta should be the Dubai of Canada. Yes, it should. It should have been ages ago. Trans Mountain Pipeline, Keystone, Energy East should have all went through.
Yeah.
All of them. This country should be a superpower with its GDP. When you think about all of the money and all of the revenue, you think about all the money that was wasted during the coup. You think about all the billions and billions of dollars that Justin Trudeau wastes every year. All of that could come back so fast if we just sold our own oil. If we invested in our own materials, in our pulp and paper, in our agriculture, in our oil, all of our raw materials, our lumber, if we didn't give away our lumber to Donald Trump and tariffs, can you imagine what our GDP would be in Canada if we were to actually use our products to get to market? Canada is going through poverty right now because of the Prime Minister. And twinkle, twinkle, there you go. Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. T. Rich says LNG. Mrs. Fringe worked on LNG for a long time.
I love the process of it, actually. It's very interesting.
It's a very safe practice for moving energy. One of the safest in the world. It's the best.
Okay, you gotta stop.
I gotta stop. I gotta stop. It's a safe practice. But of course, anytime the government shuts it down, it's in the best interest of their pockets.
Mhm.
That's it. That's why anything that happens moving forward in the next year to an election, you guys basically got to look at it. It's a game. They're all playing the game here. It's not. I don't know how else to say it besides it's not relevant to us. It's not. Nothing that Trudeau wants to do is going to happen. And anything Trudeau does is going to be reversed as soon as Pierre gets in. Politicians, the one thing people have to remember as we get into the last year before an election, most politicians, now I don't want to rule out Captain Socks, but most politicians don't do a lot in their final year in terms of changing policies, in terms of radical spending, in terms of investments.
They save it for their next term.
They want to save for their next term. They want to save for their election, for their political run. But they also don't want to do anything that's going to upset any voters. They want to tread a very careful line. You're already starting to see that line as the Liberals are now doing more press tours than ever before. They're sitting down with more and more people to talk about their plans, to talk about what they're trying to do. I mean, Justin Trudeau was in Surrey this week and got absolutely bombarded by people shouting their dismay at him. And of course, the media only took the good pictures of people who actually wanted to be around him, who were shilling for him, mostly Khalistan. But it's all a show. Snatch saying Trudeau looks haggard. He does. He's dead. He's done.
Probably more work than he's ever done.
If Canada pays off $1 for every second in time, it will take more than 36,000 years. That does not include any incurred interest. Yeah, I get it. Donovan saying, do you think a Trump will influence a Pierre win? I do. And that's partially why I'm going to keep that comment up. That's partially why I like covering so close. Like, we're a month away from the US election. And it's very important to keep an eye on those optics, because what happens in a US election is, let's say, more shenanigans. I have to say shenanigans because YouTube censors out when you say, the F word that ends with guys' names like Rod. But when you talk about interference, when you talk about shenanigans, if that happens, it sets up a precedent for Trudeau's people to learn from that and say, our politics aren't the same as the US, our political system for voting isn't the same, but if they can do it, we can do it. And they start grinding their gears to learn all about how they're going to get it done. If Trump wins, not only does it mean less interference coming on Canada's side, but it sends a signal to Canada that their neighbors to the south are fed up with the woke. They're fed up with the ideologies. They're fed up with the process. They're fed up with the corruption. They're fed up with the spending. They're fed up with inflation. They're ready for change. And that will signal a change in Canada. At least that's what I believe. Keep in mind that stocks play a huge role in who sits in office. And if Donald Trump wins the next election, Canadian investors are going to want to be in the United States. And they're not going to want somebody like Justin Trudeau pushing back against Donald Trump.
No.
They're going to want a yes man like Pierre Poilievre, who wants to do business with Donald Trump to pump up their investments. The domino effect from US to Canada, it runs in unison. Angel Raymond, man, you should run? Like, are you talking like physically or like in a party? I don't know if that was meant to be an insult or if that's like a compliment.
I don't think it was an insult.
Guys, don't tell me to run, please.
Nobody does that for fun.
It's what affects the United States affects Canada, and you can see it in our dollar. If anybody wants to say the stocks have nothing to do with it, go check the Canadian dollar right now. We're almost 30 cents on the dollar to America. Donald Trump wants to take every advantage of that if he becomes president, and he will.
Mm-hmm.
But Pierre's going to have to do something to get our dollar back up in value at the same time. I saw it. Megan says, run right to the House of Commons. We support you. God, I wish. Do you know how impossible that would be? Do you know how many people got their claws in those people? Like, even guys like Pierre, and again, I like Pierre. I've talked to Pierre in private. I don't want people on YouTube calling me a liar again, but I do chat with his people a fair amount. And I can tell you right now that even people like Pierre, there are people invested in his win. There are people that grease the wheel.
Of course, politics there always is.
It's politics. I wanted to run for mayor of Calgary. I would have been happy doing it, but I'll tell you right now, what I saw, and you saw it too, as we went around Calgary with meetings, talking with other people. There's a lot of people in this town that really have good interests for Calgary, that really want great things for Calgary. A lot of wealthy individuals who wanted change in Calgary for the sake of just fixing this city. But there are those out there in Calgary that would tell you, if you want to run and stand a good chance of taking the mayor's seat, you're going to have to do some things that you don't want to do. And you're going to have to take some money from people you don't want to take money from. That was where I started to draw the line. You can't run a good campaign without financing. You can't run a campaign without a team. And if the only way to get those things in good form, enough form to get out there, to get your name out there, to get people to care, is to take money from those you don't want to take money from, then I'd have no interest in running.
Derek ran from Calgary and moved to Spruce Grove. We are trying.
We're trying, T. We're really trying. We're just... You know, it's funny. We were just talking to the realtor before the stream because we've had 8 viewings. And what's so silly is people come through and go, well, we didn't like where a window was situated, or we didn't like that the backyard had an angle on it. Somebody came through and said the house wasn't as large as we thought it was. It says the square footage on the listing. Like, wait.
That's people.
These are the things that I don't understand in this move, in this process. Did you not look at the photos of the house? The house has a virtual walkthrough. Like, you could like, I understand that when what you see online versus in person are two different things. They're two very, very different things. I've seen that anytime we've gone to look at houses, but I just find that when people come in and say, I didn't like where this window was situated. Did you not do the virtual tour? Did you not know what was going on? There's snatch. Just lower your price 20 grand and we'll buy it. There you go. No, it's not happening. We're not lowering the price. We're below. We're below the average market price right now in order to sell. And we can't. Calgary's market has dipped. They're down 20% from last year at this time. And we can blame Justin for that one. Ingrid, hey, Derek and Tiffany, we appreciate your time and letting us have a great community and place to vent our frustrations with Trudeau and saying, this will be a community that stays for the long term.
It's a great community.
I'm glad that this community has a place to go, a place to talk, a place where they can feel appreciated. These are all great things. That's part of the reason, again, why I said that this week I kind of explored the realm of U.S. a little bit as we're heating up into the U.S. election. I understand that Canada's priority. Canada is my country. I love Canada.
We want to be able to be proud to be Canadian.
I'm proud of my country. I'm ashamed of its government.
Mm-hmm.
But if this channel is going to survive, ladies and gentlemen, I just ask a little bit of patience and support as we try to expand our horizons. It will not be aggressive expansion. This is going to be a slow process. And again, Canadian stories are going to take priority because this is the country we have to focus on fixing first. But it's important at the same time to realize that the world, not just Canada, is in disarray. We're not the only place that has screwed up governments, and we're not the only place that has corrupt governments. And who better to compare us to than our neighbor to the south, who's dealing with kind of the same thing right now?
Someone said you'd be offline. Bottom one. When we move, always.
You'll be offline for a while when you move? Absolutely not. No. I will be trying my best to get as much content as I can. This studio will stay assembled up until the day we move. I've got a moving company hired that's going to pack the house, that's going to move everything.
Not pack the house.
Pack the house. I've got to pack the house,
yes.
but the machines can be moved on moving day when the truck is here by the movers. And again, this desk can be quickly moved.
And when we move, we're unpacked same day. So you'll be all set up to go.
Yeah, when we get there, all the studio stuff on this desk will be coming with me in hand. I'll still be doing things. Even as the new studio is being built and constructed, I'll still be doing streams. We'll still be doing videos. I'll still be getting content out there. I'll try to pre-film as much content as I can, just in case there's delays or problems. Maybe we'll do some live streams while we're putting a studio together. Maybe there's going to be some fun.
Empty living room.
Sitting in some empty spots and saying, "Hey, listen to the echoes." It's going to be a fun time, and I'm looking forward.
It'll be interesting, but we'll make it work.
Watch Derek do a truck show? No. Should we do that a live stream? I guess I'm not going to be in the moving truck. I guess if we were renting a truck, I would have done that. But I actually found a moving company that's local that is interested in the sponsorship to move us for about the same price as a U-Haul. So that's why we're going to use that company when the time comes for our move. Takes a little bit of the stress off just because we've got the 3 small kids. We got a cat and a dog. So trying to move in stuff while all that's happening with the kids running around, it's going to be hectic.
Yeah, because you would drive in the quiet truck with no one with you, and I would have the chaos.
You'd have the chaos in the car.
Yeah.
It's
I don't think I'd be pleasant by the time we got there.
Please don't stress. Live the phone life, but don't stress. No, it's going to be fine. We're not worried about it. Megan saying it's great to have sponsorship. So what's funny about the sponsors, if you guys look again earlier in the week, we talked about Tenant Media, everything that was going on with Lauren Southern, Lauren Chen, whatever happens with them and God is between them and God themselves. But when it comes to sponsors on this channel, usually what I'll do is something similar to this moving company where it's like, hey, if you want to give me a discount, I'll plug your business. We did a great ad read today for it's unholy history, I think it is. I want to make sure I get the channel right. Unholy history for Celtic Canucks new channel. And those things I do at no cost. I don't get paid for those sponsorships.
Because you're a good guy.
It's not because I'm a good guy. I want to make sure that when I'm receiving cash, it is coming from the right sources, that it's always through somebody that isn't going to be called out for taking money from Russians, I guess, like Lauren Jen or Lauren Southern.
I mean, you're already accused of money laundering.
Allison saying, I want to know, please, your hoodie is so cool. Where did you get it? I bought it when we went down to the United States during the summer. We found it. Where did we find it? Walmart?
I think so, yeah.
I think we found it in a Walmart, and I just saw it. They had a Beetlejuice one too, and they had, what other ones did they have? I think they had a Minions one or something, didn't they? Or there was something else they had aside from Beetlejuice. But I just said, nah, I love Friday the 13th. I'm gonna buy one. This is actually the first time I've worn it since we got home.
That's why it doesn't look so familiar.
It's been so warm. It's been so warm. It's even warm sitting under these lights. Xylo Raid Shadow Legends sponsor one. I will never do a Raid Shadow Legends sponsor. You can rest assured that. Snatch saying, as far as Tenant Media goes, that story will unfold as time goes on. Absolutely. And again, covering that story slammed this channel. Again, YouTube, what you guys have to realize about YouTube, they don't like when you talk about certain things.
It says Derek has his eyes open for a Barbie hoodie. He wants the Barbie fur coat.
The Ken.
The Ken coat.
If you guys have seen the trailers or seen Barbie, if you have kids, like where Ken's wearing the fur mink coat with the bandana, he's talking about the patriarchy. It's let me tell you something. I really don't care for the Barbie movie, but Ryan Gosling playing Ken
made that movie completely.
It was absolutely hilarious. And what's funny is there's two ways to watch the movie. You can watch the movie as somebody who loves Barbie, or you can watch the movie as somebody who loves comedy.
Yes.
And understand that while the directors of that movie were going for a woke experience, Ryan Gosling and Ken,
he just smushed it down.
They just turned it into a 90-minute joke that actually makes the directors look stupid and makes the movie funny. So I actually watched that movie with my kids, and I do want to get the Ken fur coat and talk about the patriarchy. Allison Taylor bringing up Cat Canada suing Garrettson. Yes, I wanted to get into that. If you guys missed that, Cat Canada, of course, as we're talking about Tenant Media, Mark Garrettson coming out essentially saying that Cat Canada is a Russian op, that she's taking Russian money. I don't want to quote him specifically because he deleted the tweet. I know it's all over Twitter still. But essentially, Counter Signal, Kean Bexty, and Cat Canada now counter motioning on Garrettson to sue him for defamation of character. And what's really funny is how quickly Ryan Garrettson pulled that tweet and all of a sudden said, I never said those things. I just said that it makes me feel like she's Russian. And like, all these little back statements of Garrettson. Mark Garrettson. I don't know why I keep saying Ryan Garrettson. I keep thinking of Ryan Garrettson that I follow on Twitter, because I always get the two of them. Mark Garrettson. I apologize for Ryan Garrettson. I don't want to set him out. But if you guys have a chance, if you're on Twitter, follow Ryan Garrettson. He's got some great patriotic tweets. It's great. Rubles, how's it all sanctioned? I call BS fake news. It's so I've been looking into what's happening with Tenant, especially through the US, because we've seen issues with Dave Rubin, with Tim Pool. We've seen now Lauren Chen, Lauren Southern being affected, the We Unify conference that went on in Canada. Those things, I don't know how deep it goes, but I do know what was going on. The biggest problem when you look at the United States is that essentially what happens in the United States, anytime you're an outside entity, so if you are a Russian entity, if you're a Russian television studio, say, and you're sponsoring events, you have to fill out certain forms in the United States in order to declare we're an outside entity and we're spending X amount of dollars on advertising, on different things. Uncle Sam wants to know where that money is going. What essentially happened here is that money was being offered to these people that was being moved via products at a high price or offers at a high price. So, for example, if I was to do a convention, usually what happens is people approach me and say, do you want to come sign some books? We'll reimburse you half the costs or something like that, and you can make the rest of your money at the show selling product or whatever, and then it's my decision. Essentially what was happening is that people like David Rubin were being told they're getting an exuberant amount of money to show up to an event or to promote something on their channel, which should have honestly made their people question at some point, gee, that's an awful lot of money for what they're asking us to do. And look into it. So I don't know, again, the ins and outs of everything. I'm going to look into it further. I want to make sure I have a very clear understanding of what went on before I get into specifics, just because the last thing I want to do is defame anybody or say anything that's defamation. But there was money going around. That's already been proven. Now, like I said, what happens with Lauren Chen? What happens with Lord and Southern? I don't know their books. I don't know what they do with their accountants. I don't know where they get their money from. So I can't do anything more than speculate. But like I said, it's between them and God as far as I'm concerned, and whatever happens, happens. You'll be closer to Namco and get some of the insight from the soldiers who can say how Trudeau has treated them. I've got family that was in the military, and I can tell you right now, Trudeau doesn't treat them very well at all.
No. Thank you, Danielle.
Danielle says, tell Tiffany I love her top. There you go. You got that one. They can get money from Russia. We are not in a war with the Kremlin. Well, and that's part of it, but it's not the money from Russia that's the problem. Again, it's that these forms weren't filled out. The declarations weren't made. So it looks a little sus from what was the company called? R3 or something like that, or whatever the Russian channel was. Forgive me for not knowing it right off the top of my head. I've got so much stuff I'm researching right now. It might have been L3 or something. I forgive me for not saying it, but yeah, it comes up as money laundering, says M, and that's essentially what the problem is that we don't see, if the proper steps aren't being taken and you're giving above average money to people, it looks like money laundering. It's skeevy. So it's not a matter of the fact that it came from Russia. It's that it was done without the proper channels and it looks sketchy. RT. It was RT. Thank you, Bertie. And Jacques, you both said it. RT. Russia Today. There you go. It's Trudeau's economy match the views with the thumbs up for free memberships. Guys, get those thumbs ups in there. Get some Patriot Club members going out as soon as possible. That would be awesome. Let's see. Megan RP. Oh, yes, we are at war with Russia. Trudeau said today he supports long-range strikes into Moscow from Ukraine with Western-supplied missiles and operators. That's a dangerous precedent because I don't know if anybody's checked, but the last time I heard, Russia has nuclear weapons. And Canada sent all their military to the Ukraine. So we don't have anything. We've got nothing. Vlad could just walk right in right now and take Canada if he wanted to. Yikes. That's scary. That's scary.
Well, don't put it out there.
And what's really funny about the whole situation, and I said it in my video covering what's happening with Lauren Southern and Lauren Chen, is that they want to talk Russia, 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 and they took money for sponsorships and essentially money laundering from RT. Yet those MPs that are calling people like Canada Russia or Russia involved or Russian agents and defaming them have 11 MPs in office that we still don't know the names of that are tied to Chinese corruption and election interference. So what gives? That's the pot and the kettle. You can't do that.
It's just hiding information with another. It's just swaying.
Garrettson looks like a Simpsons character. Oh, don't insult the Simpsons. Come on. Trudy needs to stand down on international affairs. Do you trust a guy who crosses his legs when he sits like Justin Trudeau to handle military debriefs or military decisions? I don't. It's suicidal. Even a statement like that from Trudeau is reckless, irresponsible, and most importantly, irrevocable. Yeah. It's terrible. I mean, I'm not going to repeat that on the stream just in case YouTube's watching me, but yeah, that's a good point. Yeah. Trudeau's weak. Putin's giggling over Trudeau's stupidity. Well, that's the thing. It's like a 5-year-old going up to a teenager and saying, "I'm going to whip your butt." Like it's not going to happen. I mean, you just got to flick your finger and they're gone, right? It's scary. It's scary to think that Trudeau wants to pick fights while he's been laundering our money in the Ukraine for God knows how many years now. In China. But I have to have my China. But it's I was going to do a video on it, but the problem with YouTube is that anytime you mention Russia, they put the boot on your neck.
Yeah.
So I'm glad we're talking about it here because everybody who's in the stream gets to hear about it now. I don't know if PP will unveil the 11 MPs that were involved with China. With China, I think he should. I think when the door knockers come around, guys, when they start canvassing the neighborhood, saying, "Well, you're going to vote conservative in the next election," I'd be asking them. I'll tell you what, if Pierre wants to give us the names of those MPs once he wins the House, I'll gladly give him my vote. I think Canada's security should be a top priority.
Mm-hmm.
Donald Trump wants to put out the Epstein list. Donald Trump also wants to put out a lot of things that are going to incriminate a lot of people. And that's where you can tell again that's why when anybody says Donald Trump's terrible, he's heartless, he's racist, he's all these things, it's like, do you not think it's good for us to know who's on that list? Do you not think it's good that he exposes Hunter Biden? Do you not think it's good that he exposes what's happening in the swamp? Of course it is. That's why Pierre should do the same thing. I'll expose Trudeau. I'll expose where he got all of his money from. I'll expose who he gave his money to.
We should be in the know.
We'll know who all the MPs are, all the jeopardized MPs. 3 more likes. Is that all we need, guys? Guys, come on. Get those 3 likes in there. Get up there. Click that button. Click that button. Let's get more viewers up in the stream here. Derek, Canada has a massive military that includes many antique weapons. Well, they're all in the Ukraine snatch. All of our equipment, all of our troops. We got a couple of guys here that are cleaning boats, I guess. Waiting. Our government needs a complete reform right from the bottom to the top.
Yeah,
well, yeah, I mean, that's
100%.
wishful thinking, but yes, absolutely.
House.
They say Trump is out of control. No, he's out of their control. Well, that's part of what makes him such a good candidate. I want to ask a question. Warren JT loses the election. Z charge him for treason. Now, can we, the people, file a classification lawsuit? A class action. Sorry. It's been put in weird terms. Class action lawsuit against him. No, because he has parliamentary privilege. He's immune. We must have got those likes in there, ladies and gentlemen. There's Trudeau's economy gifting 5 unacceptable Fringe.
Woohoo, thank you.
Patriots Club memberships. Welcome to all 5 people who have joined the Patriots Club up in the stream. It's great to have you guys on board. Welcome in. What do we got here? Chris saying Trudeau creates just another embarrassing moment to cover up the one prior to it. Yes, absolutely. Russia's a lot closer to Canada than most know. I don't know if you guys know this, but if you're in Alaska, you can see Russia from your backyard.
You said that to her. She didn't like it.
Yeah, Sarah Palin didn't like that when I said it to her. No, it's when I called her Tina Fey.
Oh, that was
She didn't like when I said, "Hey, Tina Fey." She yeah, that was fun. No, it's very close. Very close. We need Pierre for Canada and President Trump in the USA. I think better deals could be done. You know, at one point in time, I was always saying, when Kevin O'Leary said he was going to run for prime minister,
excited, right?
I thought if Kevin O'Leary was prime minister and Donald Trump was president, could you imagine the deals that would get done between those 2 business moguls? I don't like Kevin O'Leary. I think he's a little smug for my tastes, but
smart man.
Well, he's a smart businessman, but that's the thing with Donald Trump. He's a businessman as well. Could you imagine the deals?
Oh, it'd be crazy.
That would have been insane. Absolutely insane. What do you think about elected senators? I think we need to elect our own senators. I don't think they should be appointed.
Yeah.
I don't think that should happen at all. We are neighbors. We share the top of the planet, but the Canadians are so brainwashed against Russia they don't realize it. Absolutely. Absolutely. Both Canada tanks We're already destroyed in the Ukraine. Well, there you go. There you go. Ladies and gentlemen, as we approach the 1 hour mark, I'm going to get into the point where we ask for your questions. I know we've already started fielding some of them. If you have any questions for myself or Mrs. Fringe, throw them up in the chats. We'll try to get to as many as we can before we wrap up the stream. Get those LFGs in there, ladies and gents, and let's get to some of the questions. Again, nothing's off limits. If you guys want to ask, feel free. If we see something in the chat, we will get to it. Comments on Facebook about GoFundMe Freedom Fund get vaxxed or get jabbed. God, you almost made me say it. Facebook moderators should put in quarantine. Okay, well, yeah, you got Mark Zuckerberg coming out now saying that they shouldn't have done those things, but it's a little too late for Zuck. It's there's bad anger management with the LFG up in the chat. Prairie Strong Cannon has world-class subs permanently on the ocean floor. There we go. Trudeau's a commie. Did you do the Danielle Smith interview? Yes. If you were coming in late to the stream at the beginning, I mentioned I did my interview with Danielle Smith earlier today. Again, because of YouTube squashing us under their foot throughout the week after that massive 300,000 view video, I'm going to give it the weekend before we upload any more content. I'm going to have a reset on YouTube. Hopefully that resets the algorithm so that Monday morning, the interview with Danielle will drop here on the channel. It was an amazing interview. I was showing it to Mrs. Fringe just before the stream started. She really enjoyed it. So I think you guys are in for a great show.
Really good questions.
Yeah. Tune in Monday.
Really
it's going to be a great one. And I don't think you're going to be disappointed. Mystical. Do I need to watch the original Beetlejuice to enjoy the sequel? I don't know if you're going to enjoy the sequel. Mrs. Fringe liked the sequel.
I did.
I think there could have been a couple characters less in the sequel. It would help to watch the original. Just so that you understand some of the references. Yeah. I don't think it's necessary, but I definitely, you have to have at least an understanding of the original. Yes. Do you think the American election will be delayed? No, I don't. I don't think so. I think it's going to happen. Americans are relentless and they want their election. It's going to happen. Snatch saying, Kevin O'Leary, I wonder how many skeletons are in that guy's closet. Enough to fill a couple cemeteries, I'm sure. Let me see here. Is the new Beetlejuice movie out? Yes, it is.
Last week?
We went and saw it last weekend. I mean, look, if you've watched the previews, I'm not going to spoil anything, but you see the girl with the staples in her face on the previews that's looking for Beetlejuice, and then the Willem Dafoe character. If they would have got rid of those two characters, they could have had the same movie, and it would have been better. It's kind of campy what those two bring to it, and I like Willem Dafoe. I don't want to go against... No. He's best Green Goblin in the world, but yeah, they could have done it without them. I think it's Michael Keaton knocks it out of the park.
Oh, of course he does.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Which Friday the 13th movie is the best to watch? I think Jason Takes Manhattan is probably the best. If you're talking just Friday the 13th, mostly because those have the best death scenes in them, the most funny, outrageous, outlandish ones. I watch Friday the 13th for the humor.
We did a marathon one year where we watched all the
movies, watched all of them
we?
Over a couple of days.
Yeah.
And it's Jason Takes Manhattan. I think it's part 8. Definitely the best. If you're talking any movie involving Jason Voorhees, Freddy versus Jason.
Oh, 100%. Yeah.
I think that one's the best one to watch. I love both those characters. I think they did a great job with that movie. Do you think Pierre's going to win the election? Doy. Yeah. Unless there's some shenanigans, absolutely. I think he's gonna take it. How many half-eaten cat carcasses from Ohio would it take to fill the Grand Canyon? Too many. Too many. Danielle saying, when are you moving? As soon as we sell the house.
Yeah.
As soon as we
sell
Calgary, I mentioned it at the beginning of the stream. Calgary's real estate market is starting to take a little bit of a downslide. In terms of busyness.
So if anyone's looking, come by our house.
Come by our house. I'll tell you what, I'll give you a break. $900,000, you can have it. It's a little bit of a stretch, but it's we've only in the 2.5 weeks that we've been active, we've done 8 showings, all of them finding the smallest things to gripe about. However, as I spoke to my realtor earlier tonight, he even said, had this have been back in April, had this been back during the summer months, he says it would have been a lot easier to say within a week, within 2 weeks, it'll be gone. You got nothing to worry about. Yeah. So it's just going to take a little more time. Patience is a virtue.
Which you don't have.
Which I don't have. It's Allison and Luke both asking, where are you moving to? We're moving to Spruce Grove, Alberta, which is about 20 minutes west of Edmonton. Small town. We wanted small town life. I know it's near Edmonton, which kind of sucks. No offense to people who live in Edmonton, but and I only say that because I live in Calgary, but part of it was homes there. If I were to find a comparable home in Calgary, to what we're buying, we're looking at roughly a 2,300 square foot home in Spruce Grove. For a 2,300 square foot home in Calgary of the same size, we're going to be under $600,000 there for that house. Calgary, it would cost us about 8 or 9 to get into.
Easily.
So it was the huge difference in price, almost 300,000 in
Yeah,
savings.
we've been priced out of this city. Even around the city, we looked at small towns around Calgary, and it's just
We're priced out of
not
Calgary.
affordable.
We're priced out of Calgary. There's no way we could stay in Calgary. Even Okotoks we looked at, which is a small town just outside of Calgary. We have friends there. We absolutely love it. We're just priced out of it.
Yeah.
It's
And unfortunately, with 3 kids,
it's just
and a big dog,
you got to
we've
have the
just-
room.
We've kind of outgrown the house.
You got to have. It's hard to keep the house clean with 3 kids. Tell me about it. Tell me about it.
I mean, you have to deal with most of it because I'm at work, but
Yeah, it really sucks when the realtor calls and says somebody's coming over in a few hours and I got to get the house clean. And then I got to get a dog and a cat into my SUV and have them jumping around the car. We're driving around with my 4-year-old,
yeah.
waiting while people look at the house. It sucks, but hey, it's part of the process. Mary McGregor, Freedom Convoy trial is over. Verdict in 2025. Yes. A little shocking, but it's crazy. The trial's been the world's longest mischief trial ever. Share coming in cheaper in the YEG area. Yes, it is cheaper in there as well. I know, but Edmonton has its share of crime problem. We're trying to get away from the crime.
We want to get away from the city.
Big
period.
city
We're
life.
done with city life.
It's
Become an Oiler fan. We already have a small Oiler fan.
my
He's
son
very
loves the
excited.
Oilers. We're not gonna have to worry about it. When's the next gaming stream and will it be Hide Xylo? I will not ever play Hide or virtual Hide. It's not happening. The next stream I will let you know. Again, I'm trying to balance out when I can do those things. But I will definitely let you know. YG's Winnipeg. Yeah, I'm sorry. I'm thinking of isn't YVR Winnipeg? No. YEG is Winnipeg. What's Edmonton?
I don't know.
What is Edmonton? Why am I having a brain fart on Edmonton? Yeah, YEG. I tried to get the wife to move out to Niverville.
I love Alberta. I love Alberta.
But we're Alberta bound. It's YVR's Vancouver. There you go. YEG is Edmonton. There's why.
No.
Is YEG Edmonton? What's Winnipeg then?
Oh, it's the cat.
YWG is at Winnipeg.
Yeah.
That's what I thought. Okay. God, you guys are blowing my mind here. Stop. Stop. If you guys really want to see him lose it, get him to play Fall Guys. It's not happening. If anything, I'd play Fortnite on stream because
Yes.
I love zero build Fortnite. I can't get enough of it because
You
there's
and
no
your brother
building.
actually have a pretty good team.
Yeah, we kind of rock Fortnite quite a bit, and there's no building in it. There's none of that nonsense. So we're not playing with like 10-year-olds. Just a basic battle royale, and that's the way to go. I love me some Fortnite. I'd love to do a stream playing that. Be a lot of fun.
But I think that you wouldn't be very chatty while you were doing it because you and your brother like talked through the whole thing.
Well, you got to communicate.
Yeah, so it's
It's,
not a streaming game.
If the Liberals win the next election, what would that mean for your channel? Oh, we'd go nuclear. Absolutely nuclear. I'd build a Fallout bunker and we would broadcast from there every day. All day, every day. It'd be a 24/7 stream. It would be outrageous, and I'm going to keep saying that because it'll never happen. Snatch saying Derek's pretty good at Fortnite is ridiculous. I appreciate that compliment. Thank you, man. We do get a lot of first place victories in that game. I will say it. Spruce Grove has a junior hockey team, Spruce Grove Saints. They play at the Grant Fuhrer Arena, relaxing family, small town night out. It's good to know. I'm looking forward to getting my kids into hockey and into different programs when we move out to Spruce. Again, small town's a lot better than big city when it comes to those things. I'm just looking forward to a quieter town, quieter life where I don't hear, the Purjeet music everywhere I go, and people speak English.
And groups of people. I really would like to have my bubble back.
Yeah.
It's really hard in the city.
It's very hard, very difficult. It's going to be insane when this move finally goes through. I'm looking forward to it. Hopefully, we can see an offer this week. Hopefully, things pick up. I'll keep you guys posted when things happen here at the Fringe. Until then, ladies and gentlemen, we're going to start wrapping up the show. It's going to be great to catch up with you guys later this week. Again, no content over the weekend, ladies and gentlemen. We're doing a soft reset here on the channel, but keep your eyes peeled. Monday morning, the big Danielle Smith interview drops. And again, it was a banger. I'm looking forward to you guys having the chance to sit down and listen to what Danielle has to say. I think you're going to be very happy with what she has to report. It was an absolutely amazing time to talk with Madam Premier. And I'm looking forward to maybe chatting with her in person once we do the move.
And I love that she's happy to come back on the show as well.
She said she's very happy to come back anytime. We've got a great rapport, so very looking forward to having Danielle back on the channel again in the future, hopefully in person this time.
Yes, that would be amazing.
Now that we're gonna be in Spruce Grove, hey, I can go to the Ledge and hopefully interview Danielle on her turf. I think that'd be fantastic. Maybe we can arrange that. So keep in mind for that interview Monday morning. It's going to be great for you guys to see. I think you guys are going to love it. And then keep your eyes peeled all week long. More content dropping here on the channel. Again, I will try to balance if I'm talking any U.S. politics, any Canadian politics. Canada, again, always takes the presidency. It's a Canadian channel. But keep in mind, please, open mindset that if I am covering U.S., that U.S. is being covered strictly because I think it aligns with our Canadian beliefs and it's worth watching, especially so close to that U.S. election. I hope you guys have yourselves a great weekend. Thank you to Trudeau's Economy tonight for gifting out those 5 unacceptable Fringe memberships to the Patriots Club. Always great to have those. I hope you guys have a great weekend. Stay safe, stay healthy, look after each other. And from myself and Mrs. Fringe, we'll catch you on the next one.
Have a great weekend, guys.